What makes a character arc truly perfect? Is it its strength, growth, or maybe sacrifice? Some arcs end with triumph, others with tragedy. But in Attack on Titans, one man's story stands above the rest. Commander Erwin Smith never became a Titan shifter, never threw the final blow against an enemy, but his arc is remembered as one of the greatest in anime. Today, we're breaking down why Erwin's character arc was nothing short of perfect. From the very start, Erwin is portrayed as the embodiment of a commander. As the leader of the Survey Corps, he didn't just issue orders from behind the walls, he rode at the front, sharing the same dangers as his men. But what makes Erwin different is his relationship with sacrifice. He understood, perhaps more than anyone, the brutal cost of survival. Every expedition outside the walls meant death, and every soldier who fell weighed heavily on his shoulders. And yet he carried that burden anyways. Erwin was willing to gamble lives, not recklessly, but with the cold understanding that every sacrifice had to bring humanity closer to victory. He knew that as commander, he had to make choices no one else could bear. That brutal honesty about leadership set him apart. Despite his commanding presence, Erwin wasn't motivated by pure selfishness. At his core, he was driven by a personal obsession, the truth. As a child, Erwin's father theorized that humanity's history had been erased, that the monarchy was hiding something about the world beyond the walls. When his father was killed for these ideas, that theory became Erwin's lifelong obsession. And this is where his character becomes fascinating. Because Erwin's dream wasn't about saving humanity, at least not entirely. It was about proving his father right, about satisfying his own burning curiosity. His desire to uncover the truth pushed him to lead the Survey Corps into endless battles. This selfish edge made Erwin more human. He wasn't flawless. He wasn't purely noble. He was a man torn between personal obsession and the responsibility of leadership. The duality is what made his arc so compelling. When people talk about Erwin, they don't talk about superpowers or combat skills. They talk about strategy. Erwin was the ultimate tactician, someone who could manipulate the battlefield and even his own soldiers to gain the upper hand. One of the most brilliant moments came during the female Titan arc. While others panicked, Erwin calmly orchestrated a trap that used the Survey Corps itself as bait. His soldiers didn't even know the plan until it was unfolding. That's how carefully he kept information to himself. And then there's his most famous moment, the charge against the Beast Titan. Facing certain death, Erwin rallied his men with a speech that's still remembered as one of the greatest in anime. He convinced broken, terrified soldiers to ride straight into their deaths. And they followed him, not because they believed they would survive, but because they believed in him. The ability to inspire loyalty even in the face of certain doom is what made Erwin legendary. Erwin's arc reached its peak in Season 3 when the Survey Corps faced the Beast Titan outside Wall Maria. Erwin has already lost an arm, already led countless men to their deaths, and yet he stands before his soldiers one last time. His final speech is heartbreaking. He acknowledges that they are riding to their deaths, that none of them will survive, but he reframes that inevitable death into meaning. He tells them their sacrifice will pave the way for humanity's future. In that moment, Erwin knows he is leading his men and himself into oblivion, and yet he does it without hesitation. He dies not achieving his dream, never seeing the basement, never learning the truth he longed for. His dream dies with him. That's what makes it tragic and perfect. His death wasn't about his own goal, it was about giving others the chance to achieve theirs. Even after his death, Erwin's story wasn't over. His body was recovered and Levi faced an impossible choice: bring Erwin back with the Titan serum or save Armin. This debate tore fans apart. Erwin was the commander, the genius tactician, the man who could lead humanity. But Armin represented the future, the next generation. He realized that Erwin had been fighting for so long, caring so much, and that bringing him back would only trap him in a cycle of sacrifice again. By letting Armin live, Erwin's arc reached its perfect conclusion. His story wasn't about winning or fulfilling his dream, it was about passing the torch. His sacrifice allowed Armin and humanity to keep moving forward. Erwin Smith's arc is perfect not because he triumphed, but because he didn't. His dream remained unfulfilled, but his sacrifice gave meaning to others. He embodied leadership, sacrifice, and the burden of command. He was selfish, flawed, and human, and that's what made him unforgettable. In the end, Erwin's legacy wasn't in victory, but in the future his death created. And that's why his arc from the beginning to end was perfect. Do you think Levi made the right choice in saving Armin instead of Erwin? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more anime analysis.